Welcome to the Ramblecast After Dark, episode 165. It is April 12th, I guess.
It is April 12th.
Month just is flying by.
It goes. The older you get, the faster it goes. I swear to God.
It does. It really does.
It does.
Thanks.
My first 18 years was just nothing.
And then everything after that is just like the day in the life, like crescendo of music, just leading up to. Welcome to the Ramblecast, where we talk about anything, everything, sports, movies.
Great song,
shows.
Nick.
I thought it was the best one yet. Really.
You were covering the John Lennon.
That's
song
exactly what I was thinking.
From Mind Games.
Mind Games, yeah, the whatever national anthem.
Nick and I have like a similar music DNA, I think. So sometimes we tap into that. It's like the anthem.
Are you tapping that, Matt? Are you tapping?
No, he's not.
Nick and I are not tapping each other. No.
Okay, all right. Hey,
No.
not that there's anything wrong with it.
Good evening. Yeah, thanks
Australian
for joining us, Jeremy. So it's
Our Australian guy, yes.
is he Australian? I thought he was Canadian.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. He's going to go back.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
Totally.
It's the same thing. It's just a Providence, British Columbia, British. No, Britain, Great Britain.
British rule.
It's one of the colonies,
British Empire.
That didn't revolt as fast as they should have.
Well, Australia was just where they put all the
criminals.
Prisoners. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Australian criminals, Jack, have you watched Severance yet?
I have not watched Severance.
Okay.
Now you remember,
I have to get Apple TV again. We canceled it.
for everyone out there, Matt. Between Chris, me, and Matt was the one that was still on the fence. Like he didn't find it too interesting.
I was just a little slower on the pickup of things.
Right.
I think when I was watching it, I wasn't really like diving in as deep. And now that I've gotten all the way to the season final, and I thought that this would happen, I want to go back. I want to go back and rewatch and pick up on some of the nuances, because, boy, it also going to kind of like age and how it just kind of like builds and builds and builds and builds. Like it just feels like it keeps. So, Jack, this is a show that you and Jay would have podcasted about back in the day. You would have picked up the season 1, DVD. You would have binged it, and the DVDs, and you would have started podcasting about it season 2. I think based on Damon Lindelof's reactions to the final, he also enjoyed it. So it's got that.
Did Lindelof say it had a good ending?
Yes, he did.
Well,
all right.
Well, he said that his Fitbit. It said his post said something about how his Fitbit was saying, "Are you okay?" Because his heartbeat was racing. So,
well, yeah, the ending, it was good, but you're just one of those like, I hope season 2 comes out soon, because shit.
Don't most Apple shows take like a year?
Yeah, but that's, and but I was, like I sent to you guys, I was actually pleased to learn today that For All Mankind season 3 will be out in June. So I was like,
I got to resubscribe to that and get back on.
Oh, you don't have Apple?
We canceled Apple and Disney Plus and
all
that stuff because we weren't watching it.
Oh, gotcha.
Weren't watching it. Then all of a sudden it's like, and we got Peacock, and I'm really not. Only thing I'm watching on Peacock is The Office. Let me finish The Office rewatch. I'm on season 9, and we can cancel The Office, and I'll go back and get.
John, the retired guy who thinks that I hate him, asks, "Does this show have a good ending?" Well, it hasn't ended yet, but I will say that the season final, I
think he means the Ramblecast.
Oh, does this show have a good ending?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. John, you know who the producer is. There's your answer.
We can never have a happy ending here because we can't reach that far.
We can never get to the end. We just have to stop recording and then keep going.
Was that Chris? Is he trying to get into this podcast yet?
Shit. Oh yeah, but like we've been kind of saying, Jack. I was kind of with you. Like Apple TV at first was kind of struggling. Like they had like 2 or 3 good shows. I was like, is it really worth paying that? If you're not really white, but they've been on fire for the last few months, like with
No, Chris is paid to say this. Nick is not.
I'm not paid to say this. That's right. But I mean, just saying, like, there's all their new stuff that's been coming out for 2022 has been good so far.
It has
Well,
been on
they
fire.
they have the money,
Yeah.
but all the streaming services are jacking up the price. Remember when everyone thought, "Oh, good, I can just stream, I can pick and choose." It's literally more than cable. If you go with everything that you,
but you are picking and choosing, Jack. You're saying I'm not going to do this right now.
I know, but it's like, okay, yeah. Now I want. It's just we're thinking about canceling Amazon Primes. I haven't watched anything on Amazon Prime, and I don't know how long.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
it's just a shopping thing, and this might discourage someone from shopping.
Right.
So
no, the only thing, because like Upload season 2 came out like a few weeks ago, and that's an okay show. I mean, and then you have The Boys season 3 coming out, I think in June. So
I never finished the last episode of The Boys.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I stopped, and
those boys.
I get derailed on something. It's like,
that short attention span, huh?
It is.
It is.
It's like, I go back to shows I like. I know I like.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I didn't like The Boys.
Now, do you think it's kind of like music?
Yeah.
Like you reach a certain point where you're always going back to the same music and never like, oh, I'm gonna try this new thing and just see how it is.
Yeah, that's pretty much me. I'm stuck in the
because I mean it's amazing
60s, 70s, and 80s.
It's amazing how like new music or new TV can kind of awaken. It's almost like a drug, like there are people out there that constantly need new music because it's kind of like it's a little bit of a high,
Yeah, me is not. Because my grandkids, they're into, of course, Red Rain. They're still into that song, and then they got into Journey in Boston. So they like Journey's Escape from the album Escape.
Speaking of escapes, Chris just got back into the podcast, and we haven't told the listeners where you were or what you were doing. We were saving that for your story that you would like to share.
Yeah, my fucking dog ran off, and he's black in color, so it makes him impossible to find at night. Just an idiot. Sometimes that dog is.
I mean, I thought Matt was the bad one.
I don't know if we have to cancel you right now, Chris.
I don't know, Matt. Man, that was rough.
Fuck off.
No, Chris, I have been there though. My dog.
That's not an apology.
I have.
I'm not apologizing. My dog is black.
You're saying it so angry though. Just my dog is black.
Yeah, because I just ran down the street looking for the little bastard.
What's its name?
So it's a black little So he's a black little bastard.
Okay.
Shouldn't Sparky be?
Chris won't actually say his real dog's name because it's actually his password.
No, his name is Sparky. That was his given name
Sparky.
before he was with us.
Come on, Sparky.
We tried changing his name when we adopted him, but he wasn't having it.
Okay, Chris, I share a familiarity to this scenario because we also adopted our dog Baxter, and his name was Buddy. And when he first escaped, it was in the middle of, it was actually 4 a.m. We had to make a plane. We had to go catch a plane, so we had to leave for the airport, and the dog's lost in the neighborhood. And when you run around the neighborhood at 4 a.m. yelling, "Hey, buddy, you realize it's not really
Matt's drunk again.
Yeah, it's just shut up. So yeah,
Damn it, Matt, go to sleep.
we did the whole like, okay, we need to use a B name with 2 syllables, and so
for dog, couldn't you just say bitch?
About that.
Yeah, now you're canceled, dude.
I actually received some feedback at work about using the term bitch as in to complain, like the bitch and moan type of thing.
Oh, gotcha.
That's unacceptable.
So I'm gonna get a note. But bitch is dog. I mean, that's for dog. I mean, it's, right?
I accidentally used the term eye hole when I was trying to describe drawing.
Oh, I just saw the chat here. Hey, John, the retired guy. How are you? They thought it was going to be a Nikki and Paolo episode. Fantastic.
I don't know who Nikki and Paulo is, but I'm waiting for them to show up.
You're definitely one of them.
I'm definitely one of them.
You're
I like to
totally
think I'm,
Nikki.
John,
You're
because John, the
Nikki.
UPS guy, brought it up. I mean,
You are definitely Nikki in that relationship.
I probably am. So
Yeah.
I mean, she's good looking. I would like to be Nikki. Are we talking about This Is Us? Sorry.
So anyway,
I gave up on This Is Us.
Oh, they're heading into their final home stretch here.
I know
So-
because Cindy still
Dude.
watches it.
can we talk about this fucking thing?
No,
DeLorean.
Oh, actually,
You need to save that
I
for the
actually
Patron hour.
wait till you hear my review, Jack. I have a review that I know that you're gonna. It's literally probably your worst nightmare. And you know what? Why wait? I'm gonna do it now. So it's actually a review of Lego Star Wars, the video game.
Oh, okay. This
It
is
combines all of your favorites.
all right, go ahead. I'm going to watch the Padre game. Go ahead.
No, honestly though, if the new Lego game, the Skywalker Saga for Lego Star Wars came out for consoles and PCs, it's actually really, really fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I stopped playing my other games and I've been exclusively playing the Star Wars Lego game. Definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I got it for PS5, but the PS5 is not. I cannot buy one yet. I've got it, for when it finally comes in. I've been watching some people, like some of the diehard Lego people who like to build cities like I do. They're like, I'm really just playing the game to look at all the tree builds. It's like they're knocking them down and like making them move. So like, oh, how'd they build that bush? How'd they build that tree?
That's
Like,
pretty funny. It's funny. It's cute because I mean it's a cool story because it follows the entire Skywalker saga, but at the same time it's also it has its Lego humor involved in it too. So it's actually a lot of fun.
This is a completely different play and story though than the one that came out for the PS2, right? Back in the day.
I don't know.
Oh, because they originally, did the original trilogy on PS2, then they did the prequel, same thing. And I wasn't sure if they just combined those or not.
It's legitimately it's just you're going through each movie and you start off with episode 3, 4, 5, then you go into
wait 3,
or 4, 5, 6 rather 4, 5, 6.
All right.
Then he goes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3.
Really?
Yeah, it's an interesting cadence. I thought
That's weird.
but
Yeah.
but it's really fun how they do it though. They definitely add their own little bits and pieces to it. It's a really fun game to play. So I highly recommend anybody who wants to.
There you
go. Jeremy's played it. Anyone wants to play any new games on it? It runs great on the new consoles. It's 4K, but it's a lot of fun. I recommend it.
Have you started?
He started to break down.
Kill any of the kids yet?
Killing the kids?
Yeah, sorry.
No, I haven't
Did you
encountered
try to
any
kill any of
yet.
the kids yet?
I have not encountered.
Okay, because that's
any
like
yet,
the one
no.
of the. So Matt, if you have, so that was one of the first kind of like not really Easter eggs, but like things that Lego did. Because most of the time when you hit somebody with a lightsaber or blaster, they just break up into bricks or like little pieces because they're Legos. But they put a thing in there to where you cannot kill any of the children Legos on there. So like people found out that if they had them and they were whacking them with the lightsaber, they were kind of staying in like this free mode, and so they were like kind of like being able to hover over spots in the game.
Interesting.
So it's kind of like a little Easter egg or like cheat mode kind of thing.
There's a few Easter eggs that I've seen. So like if you have Anakin and you let him sit there for too long, like his lightsaber
He
turns
changes
red.
his facial expressions.
And his lightsaber turns red, and he starts shaking. He's like, and he goes back to green, and then he shakes it. It's funny, but it's cool. I don't want to bore Jack any more than we already have. But
I'm doing something else. Don't worry.
2 thumbs up. Recommend. It's a lot of fun. To give the game a shot if you want to. It's a good $60.
So, Chris, just before you joined, Matt was talking about how he finished Severance, and
Who
was
didn't, right?
really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Severance is a fantastic show. Man,
So
talk
glad
about
Jack
like a season
introduced it to me.
cliffhanger. Like you can't steal Jack's joke, dude.
What happened?
Even when Jack's not paying attention.
I know, no shit.
Your joke just got recycled, and Matt tried to steal it from you.
Well, and just like
Fucking
Jack's joke,
Matt.
we got no laughs or recognition. So
Got called out. Now talk about a season finale, though.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen it yet, but it was one of those cliffhangers. You're like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. And they did it. And you're like, oh, shit. I got to wait forever to watch the next season of this. But
I mean, they basically did 2 episodes in a row.
Yeah, they did.
The whole, it's like, God damn
they
it.
really, really did.
And we're trying to be as spoilery, less spoiler-y,
as spoiler-free as possible.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
That's possible.
Yeah.
But and I think that only if you've been this far, don't you think that Totoro should have been the one with because he's got better long arms.
Yeah.
Yes, but fair. Maybe that's true. But I think Totoro's character is the sleeper in this one.
Yes.
Because you didn't get to see much at all, if anything, other than him visiting a friend. But he also has. We can't talk about it. So,
I know. And
the thing, the activities he takes part in his outie life,
right,
are something that you're like, wait a minute, how does that happen? So we got to figure it all out. So,
and some of the imagery,
that's what I'm referring to. Yeah,
so good.
I kind of have a feeling
so
that he might have a much deeper connection than
my only complaint. And this is the painter side of me, is they do a close up of the paint and they make this gloopy, squishy noise with it, and I'm like,
right,
what the fuck sound is that? Like, that never happens. I'm telling you,
Nick,
it never happens.
Are you in Hollywood?
No, I know. I knew exactly. Cool. I was like, this is a sound editing.
See, they try to make painting cool.
You don't have to make squishy noises to make it cool. So you just play the
I liked
song,
it,
upbeat song. No, look,
but it's funny. Like,
picky.
That's one of the things that's weird about Hollywood, though, with like noises. It's like, every time someone like does a bow and arrow and they pull back, like it always makes a certain sound. I was like, but if it actually made that sound, like a creak sound, that means the bow is shit. It's like, a perfect bow makes no sound.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Just like perfect paint makes no squish.
Now, Jack, have you started watching Severance yet?
I have not. No.
He doesn't have Apple TV.
He doesn't have Apple TV.
I canceled Apple TV. I gotta get it back again. I will.
There's so many great shows on Apple TV.
I had it. It's just a long story.
All right, fair enough. And then Nick, you texted out to us earlier today as a teaser for another Apple TV series, which is coming back in June. For All Mankind.
Yes, he mentioned that just briefly, but while you weren't here. So we just
see, I thought that was a brilliant transition.
I'm
like,
really
what the
curious.
fuck?
No, it's great.
That up and running with the football.
I was also reading Jeremy's question here, which I think is a good one to pose to the group. A final question: do you prefer a cliffhanger as a final, or a great landing that makes you feel good if it gets canceled, like a completed show? Like, which do you prefer?
I kind of like it when same as movies. Like, I think a show, there should be an overall arc of an entire series, but each season should be its own contained story. So, when they leave it with a cliffhanger, like especially with the way they did with Severance, it kind of is the ending of that chapter. And that the next season will be a completely different thing, because it's like the blinders are off, with the end of season 1 Severance. So it's going to be a whole different thing. And so that, to me, is okay to end it the way it was.
And how baller of Ben Stiller to just like call a shot and be like, you know what I mean? Like, it takes some gumption to kind of say like, hey, this is a cliffhanger. We think it's so good.
Yeah. Is he the writer and director?
This will
both.
Yeah. But in the same
executive producer as well as directing. No, I don't think he directed all of the episodes, but I know he directed.
I think he's a writer too, wasn't
he? Yeah. I think he was. Yeah.
Well, I think back to the cliffhanger thing. Cliffhangers weren't really major until Dallas, right?
Right.
Because when I was growing up, the show they were just 33 show like Star Trek. It just wrapped it up. There was no story arc. It was just, okay, this is what's going to happen this week. What's going to happen this week? Then you had Dallas that had that huge success with Who Killed JR. Mm-hmm. And I think more shows said, okay, we need to start doing that. And of course, TV started evolving in the 2000s where you couldn't just put dumb shit on there. You had to put stuff that people to keep them interested. I think his point is, though, so much to watch that every show's in jeopardy of getting canceled at any time, because there's not really those shows that are just huge, what I would say, ratings bonanzas.
What I was going to say, though, is like you get Lost, for example, like season 1. It ends kind of on a cliffhanger, but you also have a completion of season 1 there. And then all just the beach stuff, the crew living together, dying alone, all that is done. And in season 2, it just ends. In season 1 ends with them looking to the hatch. So it's going to be the intro to another part of that world. And this is kind of how I felt the end of Severance was. It's just kind of like, this is gonna.
I think the proof will definitely be in the pudding once we see season 2. I mean, I think that's one of the great things that we can look back at Lost is that okay, maybe each season wasn't perfect, but you felt like the world building just kept getting more, and their openers and their enders were just such great bookends, or chapter beginnings and endings, that it really felt kind of like a unit.
One of the best finales or season finales of any season of television I've ever watched was Kate, we have to go back.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I remember sitting there. I was at my friend's house who was getting into watching Lost. He wasn't idiots like we were, with how much we scrutinize the show, but he was getting into it. And I remember sitting there and when he said, Kate, we have to go back, I remember sitting there in utter shock for 20 minutes afterwards. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
I had to podcast after that.
I could not believe that. And that was incredible. That was one of the best season finales ever.
One of the things I remember about that one is just because the OCD in me was that the people that figured out before, because Jack had a Motorola phone, and it had not come out. That's how you knew they were in the future, because that was a new phone for that time that they were in. And people were like, wait a minute, why does Jack have a Razor phone? By the time the plane crashed in 2004, that phone hadn't come out yet. It's like, wow, totally paying attention. But then that's when at that point we'd gotten to there where everyone was looking at every single thing. It was like, then another show, Chris, did you finish Total McGray?
No.
Okay.
I haven't had time. I tried watching more Raised by Wolves.
Oh, okay.
I'm enjoying that show less and less.
Yeah. The episode 4 of season 2, I thought, the first 3, I said, when you wrote to me and said, I don't know if I'm liking this. And I was like, yeah, I could. And shit, hold on. Up again. All right. And then, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep watching a little bit. And then when I got to episode 4 of season 2, it kind of gets back to where I kind of wanted it to go.
Good.
And so I was like, oh, okay. And so it's been, I kind of quit watching it again after I think that's episode 5 or 6. But
my biggest beef with the show is the transition of the anti-hero to the hero, of the guy who got the facelift. The stowaway.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
The main antagonist.
Yeah, Travis, the guy from Vikings.
But what the fuck? I mean, why? I don't understand the influence behind it. I don't understand what's moving him. His character sucks so bad. I don't think they did a great job developing his character whatsoever. That you're just well, why is he so passionate about moving this far right with the pendulum? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I think he's the opposite side of the coin of the mother, because that the other guy is just kind of a normal android, but that guy, the religious guy, is an android too. Hold on,
which guy? So
yeah, Travis, the guy with the beard who thinks he's
he's an android.
Yeah, you saw that in season 1 when he gets into a fight. He gets into a fight with another guy, and then you think that he died, but then he wakes up and he's got all the white blood coming out of his mouth and everything. So yeah, he's a droid just like she is, and so I'm assuming that someone programmed him to be the opposite of what she is.
Well, shit, I take it all back. That's awesome. I missed that completely.
Yeah. I think it's in the next to last, or maybe the second from last episode of season 1.
So does his wife know that?
No, she does not.
And is that why they couldn't have kids?
Yeah, there you go.
Motherfucker, this show's good. Okay, I'm sorry. You and I are the only people who are talking about the show, but I go back and watch that. What episode did that happen?
It's towards the end of season 1. Yeah. Yeah. And then remember that his kid, that their adoptive kid that, they stole, if you remember, he stole mother's eyes and then he ate them. And so he kind of has the power in him of her.
Wow.
Oh, that's tasty.
Yeah. And not really ate them because he's a droid. So they don't digest or anything. They're just in him, Anyway. So I don't want to get too spoilery, but yeah. So,
I did want to comment on something John, the retired UPS guy, said. His Giants are wearing the ugliest uniforms. They're wearing their creamsicle uniforms. They're completely hideous, but that's okay. I'm just agreeing with John.
That's rare, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like you agree with him very often.
I agree with him that he doesn't like you.
Jesus.
Hey, speaking of baseball, Jack, you probably haven't seen this because you don't have Apple TV, but did any of you guys catch any of the broadcasts that Apple TV had for Friday Night Baseball? They took over the rights.
No.
Yeah, so Apple took over the rights of Friday Night Baseball from ESPN's contract ran out.
Wait, there was a game every Friday night on ESPN.
Two games every Friday night on ESPN.
Really?
Yeah. Well, not anymore. It's on Apple TV. I'm not.
Well,
sure
I
it's
have
free.
Major League Baseball package, so.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but yeah, so you can only watch these games exclusively on Apple TV, though. I don't know.
He's got the Major League Baseball package, but he can't watch Apple TV. Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, I have it, but
anyways,
I'm not paying for it.
The broadcast for Apple TV's Friday Night Baseball debuted last week, and it kind of crashed and burned in the sense that they have some things to work out as far as like bandwidth issues and whatever. But I can imagine
like
after the errors that happened last week, I can guarantee they probably have had people waiting or figuring it out like crazy. But it's 60 frames a second, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Right. So it's the first time you've seen baseball in 60 frames. It might be a shorter frame rate, or no. Yeah, it is 60 frames a second at 1080p, or I'm not sure what it is, but it looks incredible to watch. At least it was the playback.
This is not your grandpa's baseball.
It looked incredible. And one of the cool things that Apple's doing is they're actually making sure that every broadcast has at least one female analyst or announcer on the broadcast as well. So there's the local girl from Framingham, where I went to college. Framingham, Massachusetts, was one of the analysts that was on last week. But it's cool.
Do you know?
I don't know her. No.
Oh, okay.
No. But really cool to see, like, if this is any implication of what the future of sports is going to be for us. It's going to be great because it's going to like it. I can honestly say it looks absolutely incredible. So if you have a second, you can watch the replay on Apple TV. Again, I'm not sure if it's free or not, or if you have to be subscribed to Apple TV, because I know you can have the Apple TV channel. We might not have access to all the paid stuff, but it looks incredible. It really does.
I like John, the UPS guy. Why would baseball make it harder for people to watch? Brilliant. It's
Which
like
is what, yeah, that makes sense.
It's like the World Series. What channel's the World Series on?
That's why I question whether or not it's free or not. So I would implore anybody who has the Apple TV app or whatever just to check it out, see if you can get it. But you might need to subscribe. I don't know, but if you haven't subscribed to Apple TV yet, like it's definitely the biggest bang for your buck of a streaming service that you're going to find. In my humble
I didn't know
opinion.
ESPN because I haven't really watched ESPN. I can't remember the last time I actually watched ESPN, except maybe for football, Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
I got tired of the Sports Center was always, and let's show the Yankee Boston highlights for 35 minutes.
Okay, I just think that like this could be the beginning, right? So you think about like football in 60 frames would be incredible. Like soccer would be amazing. Right, and these fast-paced sports would be looking absolutely like just breathtaking.
What about painting?
Yeah.
What? What?
2-0 the ice cream team.
I like the creamsicles.
Yeah, Giants.
Welcome the other John from.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
The fabulous John. I was in your neck of the woods just over the weekend. I went down to kind of Cincinnati area to visit my aunt. So yeah, it was fun. So not really much to report because we were just kind of visiting her house. She's getting ready to move. So pretty really boring stuff all around for me to talk about.
I'm glad that you shared that.
Thanks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Really, really fun stuff there. So he says, sounds fun. I ate at a place called Grandma's. If you're familiar with that, John, there's several around.
WKRP?
No, it's like GRAMMA. They have good calzones, at least the one that I had ate at. So
Go to calzone.
It was really, when you're visiting, yes, they also have pizza too. But
John knows it.
He knows it.
I've eaten calzones; they're good, but to me, all a calzone is just a whole pizza just folded over on itself. That's
sure, but
if it's made right, it's really good.
Dough, it's the spices on top,
But you got to have the right dough to cheese to sauce ratio.
It really is.
It's hard to find a good calzone shop.
They don't put you can order the sauce on the inside, but it almost makes it too soggy. So they do a lot of, I guess they have the dip.
That's just fucking lazy calzone making right there.
Yeah, I know. That irritates me.
Yeah. So good week for you guys.
So you're saying good Italian food in Cincinnati?
No, I'm not saying it's great Italian food. It's just where I
didn't say great. I said good. I just said
I wouldn't say good. We just keep going down.
I said okay. It's just okay.
It was cool though visiting because she had a lot of I'm researching all of this ancestry stuff, and so she had a lot of old photos and being able to go through some of that stuff and verify things. She had this old.
Do you have any Fillmore?
What?
Millard Fillmore, wasn't that the guy you're related to with the president?
No, Rutherford B. Hayes.
Rutherford B. Hayes. It's the same guy though.
That's through.
They're all the same back then, aren't they? They're the same, heavy white guys.
Heavy white. So.
With big mustaches.
Mm-hmm. I like how John's like, no, grandma's is trash. I get it.
So did you learn a lot? Did you learn a lot going to your aunt's?
I think it was more verifying some of the leads that I was on, looking also at it was really cool looking at my grandma who had done a lot of research herself. So looking at her, looking at your grandma's handwriting, there's something.
So you're cheating.
No, you're just being contrary. There's something. If you saw your grandparents' handwriting again, or you were holding documents that they had, worked on or beloved or been passed through, there's something special about that. Like seeing the family Bible with, where somebody had came through and just drawn a little family tree with sticks and,
My grandma's and grandpa's family Bible came with a Scotch bottle in it. So.
Irish. We're primarily Irish, English, Irish, and German. So much German.
So I'm checking out Grandma's menu.
Yeah,
and they sell hoagies.
Mm-hmm.
Hoagies.
Now, different grandmas are different apparently.
And gyros, my favorite.
Those are great.
From what my aunt, she was basically like, "Don't go to this one. This one's trash. This one's better." And so but we were also going to, I don't need to go into all of this detail. So.
You started.
You're already halfway there. You might as well fucking finish it.
Okay. So my aunt, I have another aunt who had passed away last summer. So she has a whole storage closet, a whole storage shed of things, including, my grandparents' old china. And so my aunt who's living was basically like, I just don't think there's anything left in there. If you want it, you can have it. Like she's in the middle of a move. So she's just kind of like, I just want it to go to a good home. So we were like, okay, well, we'll go ahead and take it. And so we took a couple of these tubs full of dishes. and they're just covered in mice feces, and just like they were left in a barn at some point, and they're in the storage. And so my wife brought them home and cleaned them, and they look great. So you
took everyone, the kids and everything.
Yeah, no, the kids went with us. Yeah, we were kind of. She has this really nice. It's about 2 hours because she lives actually on the south eastern.
Oh, that's not.
She's not even in Cincinnati. She's kind of in the outskirts along the Ohio River, and she has this really great cabin that.
So she would not have gotten the signal for WKRP.
She probably wouldn't, because she's really kind of nestled in the woods. It's a really beautiful cabin and house, and my uncle, who, just as his health progresses, they're looking at ways of kind of making things easier for both of them, because they know that.
Did you have the Cincinnati chili?
No, we really just kind of like were there to visit my aunt and her house. Her house, like this cabin in the woods, is like it's like going to a fancy place, because it's just so it's you're secluded. You don't need to go anywhere.
So she shouldn't have a lot of neighbors.
No, I mean, it's like hot tub off the deck, just pure woods everywhere, just up on the hill.
Did you go for a soak? Did you?
A little bit, and we like to drink and talk and just reminisce and play cards, and so it was good. It was a good family trip. It was more family, less than.
Were you there for a couple of days or just one?
Just a couple of days over the weekend, so that when we could get home and recuperate. So
nice.
Yeah, little. It's always good for a little R&R. So,
were there zombies?
Zombies.
You said a cabin in the woods.
Cabin in the woods. No,
that's usually where they're at.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Cabin in the Woods?
2012.
How do you know that?
With Chris Hemsworth, right?
Chris Hemsworth, yeah.
It is. I had. So for those who have, sorry, I don't want to spoil it. So I went into watching that movie and I had no idea what it was about. And I'm so glad that I didn't look into it. I didn't Google it, because it was definitely like a pleasant surprise walking into that movie and finding out what it's actually truly about.
Oh, yes, I do remember that movie. Yeah, that is.
I remember the name. I don't remember if I ever saw it.
It's fantastic.
It came out in 2012, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share just my Googling.
Should we take a commercial break?
What?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. Not ringing any bells.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
So it's obviously a horror movie, right?
Yeah. There's definitely like a story element behind it too, right, Chris? It's been a hot minute since I've seen it.
Yeah, and you get right into it, actually, like in the opening sequence of the movie, when you're introduced to a character, if you will. The house is a character. We'll just put it that way. 10 years old this week, says Matt Trees. Interesting. Randy says it's a great movie.
Everybody in the chat is basically talking about how they enjoy this movie. So
yeah, it's a great flick. Not to watch the kids necessarily, but it's a great flick. Check it out.
I always like how they have not
John,
safe
it's
for
a true story.
Come on, kids. Thor's in it.
Yeah, right. So you had a good trip. That's good.
Yeah, good. No, good trip. Got some stuff. There's actually even this antique cabinet kind of thing that it was funny, because in my mind, like, she was like, "Oh yeah, Ruthie had this," and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." I think in my mind, I thought it was this one piece of furniture, and so I'm thinking like, "Oh yeah, I'd like to get it." And my wife's like thinking it's a piece of shit, and she's just like, "No." And then we get there and it's a total flip. I'm like, "Oh, it's not the furniture I thought it was." And then I'm like out. I'm like, I'm not really interested. And my wife's like, "It's actually better than I thought." So now my brother and I were going to take a road trip and go get this piece of furniture, because, like I said, she's moving out and she's dealing with her sister's possessions. She's the executor of the state, and I feel for her because she is the last now of the 4 sisters, and it's a lot on her plate. What, 5?
I'm saying to John.
5-0.
4-0.
I'm saying 5-0.
5-0.
Okay.
He says 4-0. Darvish, who went.
I thought you were calling John. I thought you were calling John a cop. You were like 5-0, man.
I'm not talking to that John. I'm talking to the other John. There's too many Johns.
Okay. Too many Johns. Too many 5-0s.
But Darvish is not having. He had a.
Every hooker has ever said that. Yeah.
6 innings, no hit, and today he can't get out of the.
Too many Johns and too many 5-0s. That's what the prostitute said.
Yeah.
It's like I knew that's what she said. You just.
That's what the hooker said.
Yep. That's what the hooker said. I like that.
That's
got a hook to it, So you were. Let's get back to that Lego talk. That was really popular earlier. People were like, just.
Oh yeah, Chris didn't get to. Chris didn't get to talk about his
your
DeLorean.
DeLorean build. Is it not going good, or is it...
No, it's great. I'm just actually really impressed by this thing, to be honest with you, because of how in depth this thing is. So I started last night, and I was doing building Legos with your daughter. It makes things 10 times slower.
Sure.
But I'm actually pretty impressed with the overall the build. It's got essentially a pulley and gear system to.
Nice.
Have you guys built yours yet?
So last week I mentioned that I got the Ghostbusters Ecto 1 in that.
Oh, right.
In that size.
So you can see this little lever here.
Right.
Oh,
it
yeah,
rotates the tires.
It rotates the tires, right? So you can see the gears moving in the inside there. It's on a little bit of a pulley system.
Nice.
So essentially, once it's done, you can that'll transition it from the regular DeLorean to the hover tires,
the hovercraft. The hovercraft. No, that is really cool.
Pretty impressive. The one thing I've experienced since getting back into doing Legos and stuff, I have to say, they don't fucking cheap around with the build of these things. As evidence with the little the busts that I have, the helmets. They could just as easily make that filler on the inside, but no, I reconstructed a fucking skull.
Yeah.
When I built that thing, and this thing's wild. There's so much shit that goes on to it.
I left it somewhere else, but I'll bring it next week. The build on that Ecto 1, it is huge. I mean, it is longer than the DeLorean, I assume. I don't know how many pieces are on each. But it is a very, I don't know, Chris, I understand. I know you're getting into Legos, but there is something kind of cool about the art of the build.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's
actually,
oh, hey, this is going together like this.
The book is really cool too because it actually has a foreword from what's his name from the movie?
Michael J. Fox.
Bob Gale.
Christ.
Bob Gale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and throughout the build book, they have all these little stories about about the car and how it gives you little trivia bits about how they used fire extinguishers is actually how they simulated the exhaust and all that. But just all these little tidbits of stuff from the movie, which I thought was kind of cool. I appreciate it.
The Ecto 1 instruction manual, it looks like the owner's manual to a car. It's in that old school 80s style, the cover to it. So
pretty fun.
Jack is still doing sign language because clearly we're not talking enough about baseball. We're just in our Legos.
No, go ahead and talk. I'm going to John, the retired guy.
Sports update from Jack.
6-0.
I was trying to find it, but I guess it got deleted or something. But the most clever I've seen of the DeLorean is they didn't use the tires for any of the of the sets, and they built a Western desert with the railroad tracks on it, and just kept it with the wheel frames, and then put it on the railroad tracks to give it the.
I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat. Sorry,
gotcha. So I thought that was a clever way of utilizing it. It's we're putting it on the rails now, and then you just put a locomotive behind it. It'd be sick.
Yeah.
Well, we're really chatty tonight. Jack's just in this baseball game. We're talking Legos.
I don't know what happened. We're finding out.
Actually, I'm back to watching us now because the game is 6-0, and Darvish
great.
Can't get anybody out. Nothing better than when you sit down to watch a game and your team gets blown out in the first inning.
That's how people are feeling listening to this podcast. I was actually making a concerted effort to talk louder. I listened to the first part of last week's episode and I was so quiet. And Jack, you thought I was doing a Gilbert Gottfried impression.
Oh.
I know.
Last week,
I remember saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys are connected to when that all went down. But you did hear he died, right?
Yeah, he died.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was odd about that is my buddy of mine texted me about it. I was like, really? No shit. That's why I Googled it.
Only 67.
67.
I Googled it, and there was nothing whatsoever on any news wire whatsoever of Gilbert Gottfried dying. The only thing that popped up at the time was Jason Alexander tweeting out. I didn't really know him all that well, but when I did get to see him, he always made me laugh, blah, 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 this, that, thing about, prayers and best wishes to his family. And it was like people were replying to him being like, dude, you're breaking news. Like, nobody knew that. Yeah. It was really weird.
I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, but Jason Alexander is the first person like in the world to acknowledge that
didn't Gilbert he lost his job with the Affleck. What did he do? He got canceled for something, right?
I think it was I don't know what it was. Yeah, just some old joke.
But I remember him got canceled for something and anyway.
But it was just really weird because there was like a 15-20 minute period where no one in the world broke that story except for Jason Alexander.
Well, to be fair, there was a lot going on in New York.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, there was a lot going on in New York. Yeah,
but but what I'm saying is he was the first. Like, yeah, the world found out about Gilbert Gottfried dying through George Costanza.
It's weird that I guess they just had to go with Aladdin. Like that's the thing that he's most known for. But I don't know. I guess I don't think of him as Aladdin, or not. I know he's not Aladdin, but I don't think of him associated with that movie. So
because he's the parrot or he's the bird.
Yeah, he's the bird.
Right. I mean, I guess I always think of him as who he is. You know what I mean? It's like. Yeah. He's one of those comedians that I don't think of like Norm Macdonald. Like I don't think of him attached to other. Like I know he did things, but it's like the sum of the man is just that's who he is. We don't, Well, yeah, but I guess I just knew him from other stand-up shows and appearing in different things, and I don't know. Like I think as a comedian, you reach a certain level where you're just kind of known for being that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found out because somebody retweeted a photo that Gilbert Gottfried had put up of Bob Saget at him, and it was like it was right after Bob had died. And said, two of my good friends have passed away. Sad day. And then it's like shit. All three of these guys are gone within a year.
Yeah,
it's just
man,
Louis.
It's sad. Yeah, Louis wasn't old either, but neither was Bob Saget.
No.
Well,
it's a damn shame, man.
Yep. Enjoy life while you can.
Yep.
Make your Legos right now because you might not be around to make them.
You never know.
But it's just weird when you think about it, like how, like Jack was saying, is that every year goes by faster, and it's just like shit. Where did it go? Because I mean, like even at the conference, that I was at all last week, there's a few younger people that were there that were like new to certain other companies, and just drummed me. I'm friendly. I talked to everybody, and I could definitely tell with a few of those people they were like, "Who's this old guy talking to me?" I'm like,
"You're not hip like you used to be, huh?"
Yeah, but I could just tell, like they were probably like 26, 25, and like a 40-year-old to them is like, fuck, dude.
Well, I saw what is it, Instagram? I saw you giving your presentation. You had the big screen behind you. You had a nice dress shirt on. Your hair was combed.
For once, yeah.
Your internet was working. I mean, it was nice. It was a nice change.
Yeah, I had to look nice. Yeah, I had a big crowd out in front of me and gave a good presentation. And
how many people were in front of you? I mean, how many people were you in front of?
Probably 200, something like that. It's kind of like the normal like the Jane Jack panel at Comic-Con. I mean, not in recent years, but
no, in recent years you get 5.
Yeah, it was a good amount of folks.
You can't have a panel away from Comic-Con. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
No.
But yeah, like, and so many, I think I might have said this last week. I had so many people come up to me afterwards, and they were like, "Dude, that was such a great presentation." I was like,
"Grandpa."
I was like, I don't remember doing it, like, because like I'd practiced it.
Get away from me, old man.
When you get up on stage, you're just in presentation mode, and like you just get like tunnel vision, and like you just do it, and then it's like, and then I did mention, because I remember Matt saying like, I'm kind of the same way when I do art, or you do it so many times that you just kind of forget. But
yeah,
I sometimes I've done, or I've taught certain things so many times that I just start trying new bits. Like so
is this on?
Yeah, I really was, like, I was going over. I think it's also too when I have to cover something to the class that I already did last week. And
so do you vet your jokes for the podcast with your art class? Is that
yeah, totally.
And this is the fucking best you came up with?
So wait a minute. I'm guessing you don't use those jokes.
Sometimes just when I'm talking, just like I do on this podcast, I lose my train of thought, and I will say stuff. And so I mentioned this earlier, but I was working on portrait work today, this week. It's kind of what I've been teaching my students. And I was explaining the fact that when they're laying in the face, don't spend too much time trying to get the eyes. Just stay with me. So as they're laying in the elements of the face, as they're drawing the face, okay, don't get
I went somewhere else.
Don't get too focused on laying in the eyes and trying to like spend like several hours on getting the eyes perfectly. And I said, don't fall down the eye holes. And I said, wait, I don't think that's what I meant. But a lot of people liked that, and so I was like, yeah, maybe I'll use that again, the eye holes. And then I get to the nostrils, and I'm showing them the nose, and I'm like,
nose holes.
I said, the nostrils, they're like the pupils of your nose. It's where the COVID lives. They didn't find the COVID joke as funny, but I thought it killed. So,
do you have a laugh track?
No, that would be.
You should be like the Big Bang Theory, just have a behind you, and then that way.
Okay. You like to like pick on the Big Bang Theory about having a laugh track, but man, there's a lot of shows out there that had laugh tracks, like Seinfeld or just basically any show.
Seinfeld was filmed in front of a live audience.
If you only put that same amount and level of determination into your prep for your class with these jokes as you do the patron cards, like we probably would have more patrons.
Wow, so this is on me. I mean, if you would just,
I think we're all in agreement here that
no, because I think if you would
mini
just
intervention
like,
that
your dog in your house, like
your patron cards
a
as
good
of
dog
late,
owner, you would
as
be
of late
on time.
have reflected someone who is just not.
Oh, I've been drawn
into it
today. I've got a whole theme.
Okay,
so
just a little bit concerned.
You always have a theme.
It's doggy themed.
Okay, I got a question. I got a question about art. What's the hardest thing on the face? Well, like my biggest thing is hands. I can't draw hands. Is that a big thing for people?
That's hard to do.
Yeah, hands are hard. Sure,
because you have a lot of lines and.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like I always have the hands in the pocket.
For the face, I would say the nose. The nose is the most.
Nose?
Yeah, for sure. So
nobody knows.
What's the average art?
She's the face.
What's the average
art student? What's their biggest? I mean, is it the nose, or is it they have trouble with the eyes? Or because with the eyes, like I said, if you eyes,
she doesn't look.
They both have to. They both have to match, don't they?
Well, okay. So I did have a student give me guff because I said, well, I don't know if she was giving me guff, but she was kind of like, razzing me or whatever. Because I said something like, okay. And a lot of times I'm trying to give them motivation. I'm trying to like give them like a way in. So I said, look, if your self-portrait doesn't look like yourself, that's okay.
Oh, it's self-portraits you were doing.
Don't worry if it doesn't end up looking like you, because as you put that pressure on your drawing to look like you, and you fail, then it's almost kind of like they think they failed the drawing, But
so that's what you're having. You're having them draw self-portraits.
Oh yeah. There's a mirror there, and then I had
the original selfie.
I had a student that was kind of having
Yeah,
like a psychological breakdown, I think, because they had to stare at themselves in a mirror for something.
They're like, I'm ugly as fuck.
I think that
Yeah, masks off, right?
Professor, my mirror cracked again.
Yeah,
I mean, the 2 times I've done self-portraits, I purposely don't make it look like me.
yeah. I honestly think it's easier.
Are you an
to
artist,
approach
Nick?
it that way.
No, I'm not. But I mean, I can sketch, but I'm not that good. I'm very like minimalist in what I do.
It's Kate Winslet. And,
Yeah, it's Kate. Yeah, it's a stick figure.
stick figure with
I mean, you look at
big,
like
huge bazungas.
You look at Bob Dylan's self-portrait album cover. I mean, it looks nothing like him. I mean, it does a little bit. Anyway, I guess Matt had nothing to say about that.
I'm drawing Nick's reclining nude of
Please don't.
Kate Winslet.
Oh, there we go. Exactly.
I assume that it looks something like this.
Where's the heart? Where's the heart of the?
Yeah, the heart of the ocean.
Heart of the ocean.
Heart of the ocean.
It's stuck.
It's stuck.
It's
stuck right somewhere in this region. There,
So that's actually what Bill Paxton was looking for.
So the challenge is, how do you incorporate that into today's patron cards at the end of the episode?
I am not incorporating this.
I mean,
but,
I challenge you to do that.
Tat from
Tatas?
It's a T word I'm looking for.
Okay. That's you guys. I am
You
not,
drew the picture. I'm just trying to
I
go
did
with
draw
it.
this
See, now
picture.
we've set the bar, Matt. So you
Yeah.
actually have to put some effort into it this time.
This is not Ramblecast Porn, by the way.
Oh,
But
man.
if you want to tune in and subscribe to our Ramblecast After Dark on YouTube, this is a good time to kind of plug
It's a
that.
great idea.
So, yeah.
Hit
We're really
subscribe.
close. We're really close to reaching another benchmark. I mean, we're no Jay Glatfelter, but every now and then. Who? What's that guy? John's also looking for
I
a
called
phone
John
number
Fabulous
now to go
earlier.
with.
I meant to say
Yeah.
fucking glorious. I just realized that when you put his name up there, it's glorious, not fabulous.
I like the idea that he's like, I'm fabulous.
I mean, you can be both.
Sure, you can be
Nothing
both.
wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So,
Ain't nothing but a
really-
thing.
I'm really though hoping that John's son makes it into wrestling, so we can know him when. Like I knew him when he used to come to these podcasting meetups, and
Yeah.
he's
How tall is he now?
Tall.
He's a tall kid.
We'll have to wait
John.
for John to respond to that.
Yeah, I know.
So
I'm
We
guessing at least
might have to
6'2",
wait
6'3".
first for you to finish chewing whatever fucking cracker you just ate.
I'm sorry, I've been muting myself when
No,
I
you
eat,
haven't.
but I thought I did earlier.
Maybe you did.
You did. I'll back you up on that. You did earlier.
Beep beep. No, but I mean, if some people would just keep an eye on their dog, they'd show up to the podcast on time, and we wouldn't have these like walls.
You know, when I tell my grandkids to back up, that now they go beep beep beep. I go, okay, that's cool. I don't know if you saw the photo. I had 3 kids yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, Zach. They all looked up to Zach because he's the oldest. I said, okay, we're going outside. Zach, I go, you can bring the iPad out, but you have to come outside. And so all 3 kids got in a chair and brought all their iPads out. So they came outside, but with their iPads. And guess who got in trouble? Because I took a picture of it. I thought it was funny. But my wife's
you
like,
got in trouble?
Why are they on the iPads? I go, they stopped after 2 minutes.
It's funny you mention that too, because my daughter has been particularly a pain in the ass as of late. Turning 10 years old, she just turned 10. So like her attitude is
a couple
just
more
like,
years going to be worse.
holy fuck. And it got to the point. Cooper is now saying he's 6'9". No, so it's gotten to the point where like we said you're no screens, like no TV, no Chromebook. You're done. You're not having any screens. And obviously she's super pissed about that. But it was amazing how much nicer of a kid she was last night. I'm like, I want to hang out with you now. You're not being a bee. I didn't say that to her, but like She was just
No,
a
you get in
pleasant,
trouble.
sweet kid, you know.
He was saying bestie.
Yeah, and it's just wild to see how much of a negative impact that can have on a kid's attitude. But
And with Zach, we give him 2 hours on, 1 hour off.
yeah,
Because he's just an absolute dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's on all
our
day.
kids get like half an hour, and that's it for the day. Now, we will sit down to watch TV together as a family, and that doesn't count towards their screen time, but like video game time. You know, after he gets home from school, he only has so much. So
He was watching this YouTube channel. It's called Mr. Beast. Dude
yeah.
has like 94 million subscribers. He was giving away a Lamborghini.
Yep.
And I'm like going, wait, I kept asking Zach before I found out. I go, he's giving away a Lamborghini, laptops, all this different crap he was giving away. I go, how many subscribers does he have? Zach goes, oh,
He
probably like
has
7.
he's one of the first to do that, right? So like he got a ridiculous amount of money. That's how we got to start with just people like sending money in, donations and subscribers. And from the very beginning, he's made enough money to make himself feel very comfortable, but he gives it all away. Like he gives away houses, he gives away Lamborghinis, cash, like, but he does it all for like bits for his show. So he takes care of all of his friends and he surprises people in public and starts like burger chains. Like you can get the Beast Burger. The kid has just, I don't know how or who is managing his money, but he's absolutely slaying it, and he's still giving away like 80% of his money.
I had no idea. I had no idea who he was, and it was a green Lamborghini. It was a lime green Lamborghini. I said, "Well, that's cool." They had to keep their hand on it.
Oh,
and, and even when they were sleeping,
And
that's
last
how a lot of
person to
people
hold on
lost
to it.
because they would lose. And I was like, I got into watching it. I kept watching.
He did that with the house. He said, everybody, he put your hand on the house. You let go of the house, and you lose it.
And they kept doing different things, and but it's like came down, and one guy, his finger like they only could put one finger on. It's like it's just shaking like that. Finally, he just gave up. He got $40,000. Still, it's a good chunk of change.
Crazy.
But,
well, I think that's what the live listeners are doing to us.
So I think
have
if we
one
get
ear.
my thing is we give away a Lamborghini, we'll get more listeners.
like a micro machine Lamborghini.
No,
No, I'm talking real one.
it's going to come down to like either Randy, Sherry, John the retired UPS guy, Jeremy from Canada. Yeah. Matt Treist will be there. Miami Mike will show up. Anyway, so well, I got this really cool cat from my aunt that passed away. It looks like it's made out of glass. It's a very fancy cat. Thought I'd go ahead and show that on this.
Don't put too close to your nose.
Is that Meowser's?
No,
like,
this is kind of more of a long hair kind of style.
I'm just saying, like you know how like you can take people's ashes and make them into a diamond. Did you take Meowser's and like? You want to tell us something?
Yeah, I pulled it together with my infinity gauntlet.
You sculpted
it. I crushed it. Is that
crushed it?
Yeah.
Wait, did Meowser's die?
No.
Meowser's
I was like, what? What?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't want to sound stupid, so I didn't say
I'm like, I didn't want to be the insensitive dude who forgot about you told her you poured out your heart story about your cat that died.
Yeah, it was the week you weren't here. So
yeah.
It was a patron bonus.
You were out
episode.
you were out chasing your dog.
I'm not going to put up any more porn, guys, in the chat. But if you want to rate or review us on iTunes, I'd be more than happy to. I'll do it for rates and reviews. So
you do get free drawings from Matt if you leave us an iTunes review. Just saying.
You do have to send me your
and you saw a sample of his work tonight.
You can send us your
those babies are real
at rcadcast@gmail.com. So
I like Randy. Jason Alexander broke the Mauser story.
No, My wife was watching the Tropica Capricorn episode the other night with the librarian and yeah. So that was a good one. So
Can't stand ya.
can't stand you. So did anybody else finish watching Bridgerton?
I've never watched an episode.
Yeah, he started.
Okay, I didn't just check it. So some people didn't like season 2 as much as season 1. So.
Me
I'm
watching
on the Last Kingdom.
Me watching Bridgerton would be like the end of Major League 2. You know, when he has the heart attack and he's like watching it in the hospital. You know, I love this British shit. I may move to England. But
okay, I'll put it up there for you. Before I got lazy with my drawings.
Wow.
You want to see lazy? You come down here and
Right
I'll
now,
show you
it's
lazy.
7-1.
Oh, 7-1.
Yeah, Padres going to run then.
Beep, beep,
Darvish
beep,
has-
beep, beep, beep. You know,
Can't
people
get
are going to
anybody
be
out.
listening to this like weeks later, and they're like, "Oh, what was the score? What was the final score?" And they'll have to like look it up. The game was played on April 12th. So
I'm guessing the Padres lose.
Oh.
I
think it's the 12th, right?
Yeah, it's the 12th.
Okay.
It's the 12th.
Oh my gosh, time.
So this week I'm gonna try and see, so I can review it next week. I'm gonna try and go see that multiverse movie.
Oh yeah.
Everything everywhere
happened.
all at once.
Yeah.
It's now
good.
playing in a local theater, so I'm gonna try and go see it and
what movie?
come back. Everything everywhere at once or something like that. It's like it's
Is Sandra?
no
Who's
her name?
who is the
Data's in it though.
I'm trying to remember the
Everything everywhere all at once. Boom.
yeah, Michelle Yeoh. That's who's in it. So
Yep.
Yeah, no, that looked really good. So and Jamie Lee Curtis.
And Jenny Slate. Look at a local girl.
What series or movies are you all looking forward to? I think Nick mentioned one earlier, which is it's coming to Apple, right? This spring, right?
For All Mankind.
For All Mankind. So, what else is coming out this summer?
Like Chris said, Top Gun.
Top Gun.
I think is John Wick 4 coming out this summer?
Really? Another one?
Well, the director said he keep making them as long as people keep wanting them.
I've never seen one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had this talk before.
You've never seen one?
No.
Really?
John Wick's awesome.
Yeah. I feel like
It's
you're
very
missing
good.
out.
Jack.
You know?
Jack doesn't give a fuck.
He does.
No, I'm listening.
I mean, we suggest all of these great movies to you, but nothing.
I tried.
Doctor Strange.
You got Doctor Strange coming out soon.
Yes, that comes out May 6th.
Yep.
So definitely looking forward to that. The Marmaduke movie, really.
Chris is really looking forward to Morbius.
Morbius.
Yeah.
He
Fuck
walked out of
Morbius.
that theater.
The
thinking,
director's cut. Yeah.
Director's cut my throat. It was terrible. Like that. It was honestly. Fuck that movie. No, that's it.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Matt Treese brings up a lot of good ones like Barry. I'm glad that Barry's coming
Oh
back.
yes.
Oh
Barry,
yeah.
I've been looking forward to
Barry, I've seen. It's
That's
very, very good.
Literally the most obscure of all the movies and shows we talk about. You've seen Barry on FX.
And the Kenobi series, of course.
Oh shit, we forgot about Kenobi.
I thought Barry was on. I thought Barry was on HBO.
Barry's on HBO.
Oh, HBO.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn it.
So
The Justified is coming back. It's going to be.
Justified's coming back. Oh,
It's going to be in Detroit.
D-Town.
Yeah.
Jurassic World Dominion. I don't know if I'm really
could
looking
not
forward
give
to.
half a fuck for that movie.
Seeing it.
I'm done with Jurassic Park movies.
I'm in it for Bryce Dallas Howard. I will say that much. So, and Miss Marvel.
Well, the dumbest part about the new, like, just logic wise with Jurassic Park, it's like, wait, you're literally saying animals are going to take over the Earth when human beings have jet planes and tanks and nuclear missiles that you think dinosaurs are going to take over. Like, it's a bit far fetched.
You never know. There could be some disease.
Yeah,
they reanimated dinosaurs.
Yeah,
maybe there's some disease that only affects humans and not animals.
That's that. But then that would be ripping off Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Are you guys looking forward to Elvis? That's coming out at the end of June.
And
Oh,
that's
that
Elvis.
does look pretty good.
Is Elvis
I
TV
was
show or movie?
surprised.
Biopic.
It's the movie with Tom
the
Hanks playing Colonel Parker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Well,
looks
then
pretty
should be
good.
shit then. Yeah.
Do we need
It-
another Elvis
It kind of blew
movie?
me away because I didn't know that
Another
it was.
Elvis movie.
There's tons of Elvis movies.
That was going to be Elvis
Biopics?
Elvis
No, I mean,
Costello
like-
cannot get one, but yeah, okay, fine.
Kurt Russell played Elvis.
He did.
Lots of people played Elvis.
Yeah, but this one, this one's gonna.
I'll watch it because it's Elvis. What the hell?
And then of course Thor: Love and Thunder, which we haven't even seen a trailer for, but
And that a lot of people were kind of throwing up alarms about that because it's broken the record now for movie release date with no trailer being released. So
I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that one show to come back that I hate watched.
Oh yeah, that could
Well,
be anything. I don't know.
I'm the Thor: Love and Thunder and
The fuck?
It was Underground or something. Was it called?
Oh, Matt Treese mentioned Girls Five Eva. Yeah, that's a good
The
one.
show that
too.
we hate watch.
No, not that show. Not that show. I'm talking about a different show. I'm not talking about the.
They started filming.
I'm not talking about
Manifest.
Manifest.
I'm talking. Matt, you watched some of it. What was that show?
Oh, yeah, La Brea.
La Brea. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
I think I like to call it La Brea.
Brea.
Like it's like a word. So I thought it.
There was only 10. There was only 10 episodes. So
The porn spinoff Labia. That's worth it. So,
still
about
enjoying Ghost. If you haven't seen Ghost, give it a try. It's funny.
You mean-
Ghost. Yes, I've been wanting to watch
You
that.
mean with
The show?
Patrick Swayze?
No,
and,
the TV show. It's a comedy, right?
Not Dust. Ghost.
Ghosts. Yeah. So I need to.
Oh, that's the one about Matt's backyard, right?
Yes. Similar.
Okay, yeah.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the comedy show Ghosts.
Yeah, I am talking about comedy.
Oh, okay. I'm so confused.
It's funny. It's a show. When I first saw it, I go, "Oh, this won't last very long," but it's funny.
Unlike this podcast.
I'm trying to see what the deal is with Manifest. Like, when's that coming back?
Well, they started filming because
They did start filming.
They started filming.
So this show just won't end.
Much like this podcast.
So
I mean,
it is jumping networks, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Netflix bought it. Yeah.
Mm.
So this is the third. It's third switch
That's why Netflix stocks were dropping.
because it was ABC right first.
NBC.
NBC.
Ooh, Randy mentions.
Oh
the
yeah,
Game of
Randy
Thrones
brings up something. I forgot.
spinoff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
It'll start out great.
House Without Internet.
Well, it's based on Dance with the Dragons.
Come on.
Which is
I'm
a really
throwing rocks
interesting
here, guys.
story.
That might be one of your better ones, Matt.
Thanks.
I laughed. I thought it was funny. You should have saved that for your art class.
I will. I break out all my. Good. Unfortunately, they don't know.
House without internet, and they're all gonna go.
What? Ah, they already look at me weird. So I love it. So what are they
You
gonna do?
laugh track.
Fire me?
Never know.
No, seriously, I don't have any classes for the fall yet.
The
You can see
boys.
the person. There's
We already said the
people,
boys. Well,
Oh, I
or
missed
we
that.
talked about
The
earlier.
boys.
talk about it earlier. People
Ooh,
on
boys.
TikTok, they always tell those stupid jokes, right?
Oh yeah, the TikTok jokes. That's what Randy needs to get into. He needs to
Yeah.
make some of that TikTok joke money. You know,
I heard. I read it. I heard of. Well, I saw a real funny one the other day, but I won't say it here because it's
was it the scissors one?
no,
Girls with two scissors, or
no,
with the running with scissors.
no.
You really fucking killed that one, Matt.
I'm just trying to murder something.
Yeah, stick with the internet joke. That was funny.
Thanks.
He's batting 200.
Nick Fulton Reed over here with the jokes. Yeah, one out of five. Ain't bad.
Does anybody listen to Conan Needs a Friend podcast? That's a pretty good one. So he interviews different comedians. Recently, he had Paul Rudd on there. They have a certain sense of humor that is
he did the whole
super
Mac and
awkward.
Me trick on him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I may have talked about this last week, but there's something about their sense of humor that is like so grating. Like even listening to them, they're like just trying to tear and make things awkward as fuck. As I identify with some of that. So maybe a little bit. I'm really looking forward to seeing Jack at the Raleigh meetup. That is coming up. TikTok goes the clock. I know Treast has been posting.
I forgot again. I was gonna do a live TikTok feed.
Oh, a live TikTok feed
as we're recording. I was gonna get some fake breasts, so I get some. So we get some. I'm just telling you. That's just
how it goes.
Do we have a Ramblecast TikTok?
No.
No, I was just going to put it on my thing, and then eventually, but we could get a Ramblecast TikTok.
Stealing likes for your own page.
Yeah, let's see how it is. This is.
I don't really care about my TikTok, but it's okay.
This is like a joint IP property, all four of us.
You know what? I'll set up a Ramblecast one, and then we can put little clips from the show, some of those great jokes you had, and then we'll just.
So this week's patrons names, they have a theme, and I was just gonna run this by you guys. What are some of your favorite chips?
Chips?
Like chips, yeah, like chips.
Chips? Oh, chips. Okay,
chips.
You said chips. Yeah. I don't have a favorite.
Chips. Like, do you like Clipper chips? Do you like cargo chips? Are you more like
I used to like Clipper chips, and they moved to LA.
I thought he said chips.
He did.
Yeah,
chips.
No, I did.
Fucking with us because he already showed us his card for attack.
I did. Do you want to go ahead and read it?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, let's do it. So,
look, chips for 200, Alex.
Pringles Eckhart.
I haven't had Pringles in forever.
Yeah.
Grandma's chocolate chips.
I don't get it.
I don't get it, Randy. No, I don't have Grandma's chocolate. That's a different kind of. Fuck you, Randy.
Those are the best.
That's a callback. There's like listeners that have just tuned in and they're like, "What?"
That was like the original Matt got himself shit on joke of the Ramblecast.
We haven't had a good verses in a long time. You know, we used to.
I suggested last week, but you know.
Oh, you wanted the sports movies.
Sports movies.
Yeah. And Nick, was it Nick? You had the pretty good
I made the brackets, yeah.
And I after thinking about it, I put Miracle ahead of Slapshot.
It's because of the war in Ukraine. You're like supporting Miracle.
No, I just the skating is real in Miracle. That's what I.
Not
that skating's not. There's some real good skaters in Slapshot too, but anyway, go ahead.
I asked my uncle who played
sheep chips,
sheep rinds. I asked my uncle over the
he likes them greasy.
Any about sheep chips? I was asking him what his favorite sports movie was. You know,
who's that?
My uncle. So my uncle played professional basketball in Germany. He's a very very tall guy. Yeah. And he got, signed up with some team over there and played and lived over there for a whole year. So that's where my cousin was born. So, but he's a huge Caddyshack fan. But he said Major League. So he's more of a humor sports guy. He likes the humor and the sports. And
Major League, man. Major League is a phenomenal baseball movie.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was interesting because he mentioned Major League and Caddyshack, two sports movies. Comedies that their sequels were just so shit.
Oh yeah, they were terrible. Yeah, but I would say the Caddyshack was worse than Major League.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Caddyshack sequels unwatchable.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think I ever finished it.
Yeah, Major League 2 is not bad except for Charlie Sheen's storyline in Major League 2 is shit.
Mm.
But I still like a lot of the humor that's in it. Like. Serrano, like kind of going soft, and
Wesley Snipes not in it, right?
Wesley Snipes is not in it, yeah, because he was Wesley Snipes at that point.
Right, he was doing Blade, man.
I mean, like Tom Berenger, like being the manager, kind of assistant manager, and then there's some good things in Major League 2. It's just wasn't completely fleshed out.
I didn't expect you to come to bat for it.
Yeah, you better
See
believe
what
it.
I did there?
Yeah, I think everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one. That would have been a
You
good
really slid into that one.
Back to
I think to be honest with you, I think he struck out.
I've been striking out all night. Here's another chip.
Fuck you! I'll read it myself. No, fuck you, Jobu. I read it myself. Fritos tack.
I bought a bag of Fritos the other day. Every now and then, just gotta have some Fritos.
That's what I've been munching on. I've been munching on, and that's where it triggered that. So,
because most kids look at you like Fritos. You know, these were the thing to eat when I was a kid.
Salty as fuck.
I still, extremely salty, but I still love them. I get them all the time.
the chili cheese Fritos are like what now the flaming hot Cheetos are, right? Like back then, I feel
nobody
like
nobody likes chili cheese Fritos
anymore.
No, ever.
It's like flaming hot Cheetos has replaced that in the stoner culture world.
What do you
the
have?
Youngins.
You have the original. You have scoops, and you have the
Scoops.
barbecue honey twists. You know?
Oh yeah.
And I grew up eating the barbecue Fritos, and now the only way you can get them is if you order them through Canada.
Jeremy knows a little
Canada.
something about that.
Dude, those scoops though are something else.
I should have put scoops on here, but I didn't. So
Ruffles has Ed's.
Now that's probably your best one.
Russell's has ED.
I should have put Ed's at that.
Damn, that's just mean.
Oh, I think I forgot one. So
That's the way you should have read it. It's ED. Wow.
Chris can't even get through this one. So no,
Tostitos. Yeah.
Tostitos Joannos.
Might be my favorite. I did the design of the chip bag there. So
The artwork's better. I give you that.
you know what? Well, you know what's really bad though? Maggie, you're so magnificent. I didn't.
He forgot about you.
I didn't forget. I just
he couldn't think of any chips.
Yeah, Maggie's
Doritos Maggie.
After ED, he was all done. He couldn't.
Well, Maggie has the glucose. What's that thing?
No, she has celiacs.
Yeah, but she can only eat the like
Gluten-free.
cardboard chips. Gluten free. That's what it is.
gluten free.
Which is
You need a
celiac.
gluten free chip. Yeah, I know, but I just I bought a bag of chips one time in Washington D.C. and I said, "Oh my god, these things are awful." It was like eating cardboard.
Now, what about corn chips? Corn chips, I thought fell into that like anti-gluten because they're not bread.
Corn chips are
you know.
corn chips are good, but these were like some kind of chip. I don't know. It was terrible.
Oh, Munchos says Matt.
Muncho.
Oh,
Maggie.
Fantastic.
Maggie Munchos. I can just throw up a real quick thing for Maggie here. So
I mean, we can just pretend that you did it.
okay, thanks. Dude.
Nobody's watching anyway.
Aw.
Oh man, dude, Munchos are the best though. I never get Munchos.
Now I'm hungry. Now I want to go eat my Fritos.
Maggie Munchos. If you just heard that sound, it was Chris's head having a concussion from the microphone and the speed at which his head fell forward after me showing the artwork for.
It was just the image of that with that. Yeah.
It's a callback. This is what's called a comedic callback.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow,
So-
what wild and wacky.
I'm sorry. This is probably a good place to end this show, right, guys? We
Yes.
prattled on long enough. I mean, we really. There was some dead. I gotta throw that one away. My kids can't find that.
Mommy, what's this?
What's Daddy podcasting about?
I did think that at the Raleigh meetup, because a lot of these I throw these in my desk drawer here and they just kind of fill up. So at the Raleigh meetup, there's anybody that wants these, Maggie, if you maybe not that one. But
I think Maggie might actually have a lawsuit or like a restraining order after
the
this.
cease and desist, Matt. Please,
Maggie, they're
call me
magnificent.
Maggie from here on out.
I like it, Randy.
If you enjoy what we do, and why wouldn't you? Go.
There's no email?
No email from Randy.
Who
He
wants
had-
to email us, dude? We're a bunch of fucking rejects.
We also just podcasted on Thursday. I mean, no wonder
That's
we
true.
don't have anything to talk about tonight.
Exactly.
So, although, please watch Severance if you haven't watched it already. And you
Yes,
have Apple.
please do.
It's
Or
worth
Ghost.
it. Or Ghost.
Remember the last days
So you can sit
totally
there and
great.
make pottery.
On that
Ghost.
note, this was a
You got it.
great show, kids.
In a million.
Call
Boom.
me time.
Thanks everybody that joined us live. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Hasta